All right, welcome everybody here to Speakers Theater. It is Thursday once again, so at 12 noon Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time for the next hour and a half, we are going to have a blast and so much fun. Everyone is joining us here, so if you're out there on the live streams and you're seeing it, at the bottom of my screen, we have scrolling. If you want to join the live Zoom call, just go ahead and join, because we do networking and breakout rooms, and you're going to meet some amazing and exceptional people. All right. Today, my co-host is Misty. So Misty, share a little bit about yourself, and I'll let you take it away.
Outstanding. I love when we Zoom, because I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and was it yesterday? It was 10 p.m. somewhere, and he's like, no, good night. So welcome everyone to Speakers Theater. Is there any speakers or coaches here, or mentors, or people that love working with other people? Yay! Lance did this sometimes. Well, I am Misty Kerrigan, and I am here. Love the Mentor Studio. I love Power Team. Do we have any rainmakers here? Yay! Dawn, I see you over
Yes,
there.
I'm always raising my hand, aren't I? Who does this? I do it. It's just automatic. You raise your hand for this, and you know what? 99.9% of the time I've either already done it or I'm in it.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm obsessed with personal development. Let's see a little bit about myself. For the last 21 years, I've been creating and directing multi-million-dollar contracts at a nonprofit for at-risk youth and foster youth. However, it's a nonprofit. So about 4 years ago, I decided I should go into business for myself so that I can profit and help more people. So I went back, got a fancy degree, and now I am a business psychologist. And anyone else here? I have ADHD, and it is like having a Porsche for a brain, a Porsche motor. So I am able to do probably 8 things that it takes for some people to do one thing, because they're really good and focused at it. So I have been able to put together things to be able to help mental health into business. I don't know if you know this, scary statistic is any entrepreneurs here or small business owners, because 1 out of every 2 of us has some sort of mental health. I think really probably comes from stress. Bill Walsh makes a great joke and a poignant point when he says, entrepreneurs are the only people that will work 140 hours a week, not to work 40. Let that one land. Now, I love it because when you're chasing your passion and you're living in your dream, it does not feel like work. Maybe sometimes when you're like, I should probably sleep, but when you're either creating your program or when you're doing your one-on-one or your one-to-many or speaking from stage, to me, that's where I feel most alive. Any athletes here? Anyone play sports back in the day? I don't know how long.
Oh, back in the day?
People play until they can say you're not. So I played I played all kinds of sports in high school, and I played college basketball. And my favorite time was being on the court during game day. And that's what it feels like when I get to speak and impact from stage, or when I get to coach, is it feels like game day. It feels like getting to impact other people. So anyone here want to put it in the chat or on mute and tell us what it feels like for you when you get to help others? As we let people in, we'll be jumping to a networking. But right now, I just want to get some good feelings going. What does it feel like for you when you get to serve and help others? Or when you see something in your program work, or that person has the aha moment? Satisfaction. Gosh, I love that. All right, the rest of you guys, what does it feel like for you when you're living in your zone of genius? Jessica.
Hello, Misty. Hey, Donna. So what it feels like for me is just bliss. It feels like pure bliss. Like I get extremely happy. My heart gets full. I get really satisfied. I get confident to keep going, because as entrepreneurs, sometimes we get lows and we get imposter syndrome or fears, all those things, right? But when I help people, all that dissipates. I just want to go out and do more and more. It drives me. So it's not only fulfilling, but it's a drive for me as well.
I love that. Let's get to Anthony. I see your hands up. Welcome.
Thank you, Misty. Thank you for the question. Helping people is one of the greatest experiences that you can have. I mean, you have that feeling in your heart that you've accomplished something big. I mean, be it even helping someone cross the road, it leaves you with some satisfaction, or help someone who is going through some challenges in life with some advice. Just a few words that you tell someone and it makes a change in someone's life is such a great feeling.
Oh my gosh, you nailed it. And then I'm going to get to some comments, and then Kathleen, I'm going to get you, but I love it. Nicole said amazeballs. I don't think we can describe it any better than amazeballs. Rewarding, confidence the other person achieves when they get something. And then I love this one, like I received a present, like it's Christmas. Surprise from Santa I never expected. Yay, I love that. All right, let's get to Kathleen, the quiz queen.
Yeah, I agree with all of those, and I think it's just being you just get into a flow, and you get into that that natural place where things are just clicking, and it seems easy and very rewarding. So that's what I would attest to.
Oh my gosh, I think you used the magic word of flow. Has anyone ever heard of flow versus hustle? So in hustle, we kind of have the hustle culture where it's like go and get it and go and get it and go and get it. But in flow culture, it's that you're in your zone, things are being attracted to you. And you say you run into people at the store, or you're out buying a coffee, and all of a sudden people like want to work with you. It's like things are being brought to you. And I love that because I was always kind of into hustle until I learned about flow. And I'm like, oh yeah, I like flow so much better. And to get into flow, one of the best things is clarity. One of the best things is clarity. And that's why things like this, like the Speakers Theater, showing up every Thursday and just working on different things is going to help you sharpen that sword to get more and more clarity into what it is and what you're doing, and understanding it from a level from your customer's perspective. How many of you guys have customers that send you other customers? That you have people that refer others to you because of the amazing work you do? Yes, I think that's one of the greatest compliments to the work is you help someone so much that they can't help but refer someone else. And so we want that to be your main source, is people getting results from what you're doing, that they're just flowing in. And of course, we have some speakers here, speakers from stage, whether it's virtual, whether it's on a live stage. I'm gonna lean here because I want to know, it's what I love, but how many of you guys love live stages in person, room of people, and you just get to impact from that level? Oh my gosh, yes. I felt like a kid in a candy store after 2020 when they started opening up a little bit, and I was like, there's people, and they're here, I love it. Not that I don't love Zoom and the opportunities that this virtual world has brought, but there's just something amazing in connection when you're in the same room and you're getting to speak from that level or from that platform. So excited for that. So are you guys ready to do some networking?
All right, I just have a couple of little housekeeping items to go over just before we go into all of those breakout rooms. It took me just a minute to get everything set up here because we are broadcasting live to over 9 different channels, including several Facebook pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. And if you guys are not familiar with Twitch, it is the number 4 sought after platform where you can have your own TV channel. So what we're doing here is we were building. So make sure, take those social media moments, throw out a picture, put it out on your social media, invite your friends to join this, because as this grows every Thursday and we are broadcasting live, what's going to happen is we're going to start broadcasting onto a TV channel. Yes, you heard that right. Our goal is to have it up and running before before January. But in order to do that, we need you to invite all of your friends and everybody. So if you want to take a picture with your cell phone, throw it out there on Facebook or your favorite social media, say, hey, here, join us. I'm going to put a link here in the chat to be able to, you can just ask them to join speakers. Let me give you this link over here because it'll just directly let them in. And I just put that in the chat. One of the things that I do need for each and every one of you to do when you are asked or to put a comment into the chat, please put your name. Yes, we see your name here in the chat, but they don't get to see your name on the stream that's going to all these channels. So what I am doing is I am copying and pasting every single person's comment on all of these different feeds. And so if your name's not there, I have to stop and take a moment, try and figure out how to spell it and put it out there. So definitely just put your name in the chat when you type. I know it's a little goofy here on Zoom, but it's very helpful for all the live streamers because later here, you guys will get to share your contact information. And as you share that, they're going to want to know whose email address is this? Why do I have this person's phone number if there's not a name next to it? So please just put your name in the chat while I transfer everything over to our live broadcast channels. And if you're out there, I see you guys on the live broadcast. I see how many of you are out there viewing on all the different pages as I stream through them, click through them. And at the bottom of our banner, we just have it scrolling. If you want to just join into the Zoom, get into these breakout rooms, do the networking, meet some amazing people, learn about them, they learn about you, and never know who's going to do business with who. So just saying, just jump on PowerTeamUSAZoom.com. All right, Miss D, thank you.
So we are going to jump into, before we jump into breakout rooms, let's practice our 30-second intro. Who wants to go first? Give us your 30-second intro, and you're live to 9 channels, so make it a great one. And remember, some key tips in that. What is your customer looking for? Where are some of the pain and benefits? That's going to reach them. Nicole threw her hand up. I love this. Amazing balls, Nicole, please.
Hey, so I'm practicing it. I hope it's 30 seconds. Are you ready to take your podcast to new heights? I'm Nicole Borby. Take my hand and soar with me to the podcasting portal of passionate purpose and profitable pleasure with Creatrix commercials. The rise of the heart-centered entrepreneurs begins now.
Holy crap, you nailed those P's.
It's amazing, isn't it?
After you speak, go ahead and put your info into the chat. But wait until after you speak, and then we'll get it into the chat. So, Quiz Queen, you are next.
Hello, everyone. I am Catherine O'Leary. I am known as the Quiz Queen. After 25 years of working in corporate as a market research and consumer insights director, I now help entrepreneurs attract the best and release the rest with their own quizzes. So stop talking to everyone and their brother and start talking only to your best clients with your best quiz. If you want to learn more, just check me out in the chat.
Nice.
Totally awesome. And I have to say, real quick here with Catherine, I got to experience one of her quizzes, and I had said it more like a survey, and it totally blew my mind, the amount of information that you can receive so you can fine-tune and tailor your programs and deliver what people in your audience is asking for. And so I never understood the power of quiz because sometimes it's just kind of fun. Oh, what kind of carrot am I? Or what kind of pizza am I? But it has real value to it when it's used in the right way because it is such an amazing tool. So you guys reach out to Catherine.
I love that. Who wants to go next? 30-second intros, and then drop it in the chat so we can share it over the 9 streams. Jessica.
Hello. My name is Jessica Brothers. I am a 21-year board-certified integrative nutritionist and biologist, expert health strategist. Basically, I help you get what you want by educating you on these very, very simple solution, the root cause of everything that you're feeling or struggling with in your health today. It's literally, your health is one cheek swab away. And you can just reach out to me. Yes, you can reach out to me in the chat if you'd like to learn more, for sure.
Love that. I love that tagline too. Your health is one cheek swab away. That was good. That was a good, good call to action in there. Who is next?
Thank you.
30-second intros. There you go, Lee. Or Les. Sorry, Les. There you go, Les. You are next, sir.
You bet. Les Simpson, we build chiropractors' business to an 8-figure practice. We have 10 years at it, and we do everything from bring attorney referrals to them. They outsource all of their marketing to us. We bring all their patients to them. We also teach them how to increase the accelerated injury recovery. And just to contact me, the number 7waystoprofit.com.
Look at us throwing a call to action right in there with a way to follow up. 7 ways to profit.com. 7waystoprofit.com. Who is next? 30-second intros here at the Speakers Theater, where we are going live broadcast over 9 other channels. Hands.
G'day everyone, my name is Lawrence Fontenot. I am a cybersecurity professional and I tie cybersecurity and psychology together to understand how people think and how they can protect themselves psychologically against cyber attacks. So learn how to use psychology to protect yourself in cybersecurity. I'm also a podcaster and you can get me on Linktree. The podcast is called Thinking Like a Genius. And the website is called thinkinglikeagenius.com.
Yes. I love that. Thinking like a genius. All right. We are here as the Speakers Theater, over 9 live broadcasting channels. We are doing 30-second intros and dropping the information in the chat so that Donna can drop it to the world. Anthony, you are next.
Thank you. My name is Anthony Marore. I'm a motivational speaker and author, and I'm here to tell you that you can achieve your dream. I've got a workbook which you can use to work towards your dream that has got the 7 ingredients for success. And this one you can download straight away from my website, which is anthonymarore.com. Inspiration and work through your dream. So my contact, or rather the link, is the chat.
Anthony brought a crop. Very nice, especially for Zoom video, getting some engagement. We've got a couple other people. Who wants to go next? If you can, unmute and give your 30-second intro to us and the rest of the channels. It's great practice, too. David, was that your hand up? Yay, David!
Turn up the volume, maybe?
It's a little low.
Well, that'll be why. All my new gear now. Getting my costume test stuff going here. Anyways, persistence factor. Unclear secrets worldwide. The entrepreneur will teach you the secrets of what the world is doing. Something like that.
I like the persistence.
Persistence factor. It's called Winner Secrets Worldwide. And actually, Bill Walsh is the one who gave me the tagline. After going back and forth with him for a while about my original tagline.
But it is very intriguing, David. I love it. Put that in the chat.
Okay.
And we got a hand up over here, Rachel.
Hi there. Well, I'm Sarah. I'm Rachel. And if you're stressed out and don't know what to do, we can help you with 2-minute techniques to de-stress when you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and burnt out at SarahKnopf.com.
Well, thank you. I like how you went straight to the pain point. If you want to do this, here's your relief. Very good. Drop it in the chat. Did we get everyone? Oh, no, we didn't. Christine, there you are, all the way from Canada. Hi, I'm Christine Lennox. My business is called It's About You by Christine Lennox. I'm actually located in Hanover, Ontario, Canada, but I service the Greater Canada and United States marketplace, particularly women over 40. And I like to go with the idea that your body is talking to you. It's telling you things, but are you listening and do you understand? And I use different modalities and herbal supplements to be able to get at the root cause of why you feel the way you do. I like that, the root cause. And then the supplements, like organic at the root. That too, yes. Yay. Okay, everyone got to go? Now, the cool part about the 30 seconds is a great practice for you to kind of get out there, see what's working, but also to see what you really liked and what you were kind of drawn to. We know there's different learning styles, we know there's different personalities, but your customers, when you get really clear on them, they're waiting for your message. So when you get to see everyone else's, be like, oh, I like that, or oh, that was really good, and that was intriguing, or I liked how he popped up a prop. Those are great things to really just get to master yours outside of this amazing place, but definitely coming back weekly. The great part, and Donna said at the beginning, is when it comes to Power Team and when it comes to the Mentor Studio, we are visionaries. David talked about Mr. Bill Walsh. This guy is like light years ahead when it comes to business ideas, business strategies, business techniques. And so one of the things that we really have for this is how do we get our message out there? He really is deeply connected to speakers and their messages, and he truly believes your story is too big to play small. So he creates these different venues for us to get out here, feel comfortable, get more confident in telling our story. So it is never easy to be put on the spotlight, but everyone here did an amazing job, and we appreciate you guys. So now we're going to jump into breakout rooms so we can practice a little more. So in the breakout rooms, we want to run it like a mastermind. Anyone read the book Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich? There's different versions. One of the things in there is when you bring brilliant people, and I think the word was genius in one of the podcasts, when you bring geniuses together and entrepreneurs and we get to be around each other and kind of get to spit fire, run ideas, you'll be surprised what comes out of here. So when we do these breakout rooms, it's really that opportunity to get around like-minded and people that are doing different things than you, but are still in that realm of service. Someone else said heart-centered. I love that Donna has that too. So really have hearts in place, getting around other people to get some great ideas. So we're going to go into the breakout rooms. You could go ahead, reintroduce yourself, and then talk about what you are struggling with. Where is the struggle? I always say a struggle is also an opportunity. So just talk about it. Is it qualified leads? Is it closing once you have the leads? Is it coming to these events and not feeling like you're getting the things you need? So that way, when you're in the room and you're talking about what you're struggling about, you guys have some time for people to might have some solutions for that. When it comes to this platform here at the Speakers Theater, there's a spectrum of experience, years. People are here, some people are just getting started, others have been doing this for over 20 years, 30 years, and so to get to tap into that is such an amazing, I say privilege, but I also say such an amazing experience. So we're going to zoom you away into your breakout rooms, and you're going to reintroduce yourself, and then you're going to talk about some of the things that you're struggling with in the business, and then you guys are going to mastermind around that in your groups of how to give that person some ideas to find opportunity in that struggle. So let me create the groups.
All right, and how long do we have?
That's a great question.
So we're going to be in the breakout rooms here for about 20 minutes sharing. And if anyone new jumps into your room, because people are joining the stream at all the time, someone there, just take the lead and share with them the instructions there.
All right. I think we are ready to go.
Okay, perfect.
Excited to go. Okay. Oh, there we go.
All right, I have volume once again, and can you go ahead and pull Nicole out of one of the breakout rooms?
Should have worked. Move to.
Can you move Nicole back to the
Let me
main
shoot
room?
right in.
All right, well then you and I get to go.
Hey,
Of course.
everybody. Right now we are bringing back a guest, and Zoom hates me.
Hey, so all right. If you're out here on the live stream and you're watching, everybody just went into breakout rooms to share their area of expertise, a struggle they need to overcome so they can network together, work together, receive a solution, and everybody get to grow and magnify your business. So if you're out there watching here on the live streams, all you have to do is go to powerteamusazoom.com and join us. We'll share you and put you in a breakout room, and you can network, get your message out there, because your story is too big to play small. And so I am here with my co-host, Misty Kerrigan. And so normally during these 20 minutes, we go through a quick little interview to talk and learn about a mentor or somebody that is on our stream with us here. And so today, of course, it's just going to be Misty because that's who I have. So gotta love it when technology works and when technology doesn't work. So
Like I planned it or something.
right? It's all good. So Misty, share with us your 30, 45 second, what you do and how do you share your message with the world?
I love that. So I've been working on my rebranding because business psychologist sounds really intense. But really all it is my new podcast coming out, going to be called Psych Your Mind, Psych Your Business. And it just is, what's his name nailed it. It's just using psychology tips, strategies, and different things that work to help the business owner or the entrepreneur organize their business and run it like a business and not like it's just a job they get paid for, by running everything through their customer base. So a lot of times, and have you ever been in a business, Donna, where it's like, it feels like they are not meeting your needs as the customer?
Yes. Simply put, yes.
Almost daily. So it's recreating your touch points 100% through your customer's eyes and not yours. So it's meeting, I love saying it this way. It's meeting their needs by giving them what they want. Because I think a lot of times, especially with coaching or healing or some of the things, is we have specific modalities where we're hitting the need points, but sometimes that's not what they want. They think they want it. So if they get what they want and the needs are met, your whole customer thing is going to change. And well, our whole plan is to get your customers to raving fans, where there's not room in your programs, there's not room in your courses, and there's not room in your one-on-one coaching because of the referrals. Not because of your marketing, but because others referring people to you because they understand the benefits you bring. So, and that comes through psychology, your field, and the different things that you're doing. So that's what I kind of do. I kind of dive into your world and then the mind of your customer and rewrite the processes and the customer touch points.
Absolutely. So share with me, because I know you do a lot of things with sales funnels, putting together their product line, showing the flow charts, all of that. How do you translate their words into pictures, show them, and then help them monetize their businesses?
So I am very visual. So when I get something out of someone's head and able to write it down, sometimes they're able to see it a little differently. I know I like to make mistakes, and I make them all the time. And I am definitely I think it's called a generator. And I'm excited a lot, not most of the time. And so with my customer thingy, what I was doing was talking people out of sales. Because there was a point in the conversation where it was like, oh my gosh, they would love to work with me. But then I didn't shut up long enough. And it became, I was being too interesting instead of interested. And I would lose on opportunities because I would then just start to confuse people because of my excitement. if that makes sense. So having it out to where it's clear, I think that helps you talk about it and communicate, because where people miss out on is it's not the person in front of you you're communicating to, it's the person that they're talking to later on. So if you meet someone at networking and they don't need what you have, but someone, it's really safe to say, someone in their life does. So if it's really crystal clear, then that's where you're going to start to get the results. My favorite story is my chiropractor's daughter was 6, and she was her mom's #1 referral source. Because when anyone said they had a headache or their back hurt, she would hand out her mom's card and said, my mom takes care of that. And still to this day, her daughter's in high school, she still has customers from her daughter.
I love it.
That's how clear her message was, that the 6-year-old could refer her. And I think in a lot of our other stuff that we do, sometimes we don't even know how to refer ourselves.
I believe that. And that is so sweet. And I love it when children come and get integrated into business, and then they learn how to do business and set up their own at a younger age. Because I think those are skill sets that are not taught out in today's world. So I know you've been through Power Team's Rainmaker program. I know you're getting ready to go into a couple other programs, Platinum Speaker, and you're also a mentor with the Mentor Studio in our Elite Mentoring community. So share with me, because the Mentor Studio and Power Team are together with Speakers Theater co-sponsoring. So share with me how Rainmaker, from a business point of view, has impacted your life.
So I come from the nonprofit world, 21 years in it, and when I moved into the business world, it was a lot different than the nonprofit world. And I was a little disheartened in the business world. And I was like, do I go back and get an MBA? I have a master's degree in industrial organizational psychology, which helps me do the things I need to do. And then I was running into people like coaches and chiropractors, and they're really good at their skill, but that doesn't necessarily always translate back into the business. And I heard it all along, you're working on your business or in your business, and that some of that stuff didn't make sense to me with the realm I was in. I'm from creating programs, getting funding sources, and then they run. So when I came into business, I think I was charging lunch and coffee to help people, and people were getting great results, but I didn't know how to make it a business. And so when I went to Rainmaker, it was like getting an MBA in 3 days. I think our Rainmaker joke is getting hit with a fire hose. And I kid you not, when I signed up for it, I made a commitment to go to all 4 times. And the last time I went, I was sitting next to, I think it was you, and I'm all, this is new. And you looked at me kind of crazy, and you said, no, this is the same, you're new. And I was cracking up because I would have bet money. I'm like, oh, he added a whole new part. And you're like, no, but your mind was different than the first time that you heard this part.
Absolutely.
Now, the crazy thing about Rainmaker is your business is already 6, 7, 8 figures. There's something out of there that helps you. We've met multi-millionaires come through there and have aha moments. And new people starting their business, it gives them a structure and a map for success. So at any level, I know Bill always says small businesses, but I think even mid-sized businesses and the industries he's able to help, it's just a breath of fresh air to have something very clear. The clarity in there and the call to action and then the plan to follow, it's changed my my whole business. And it was funny, the first time at a Rainmaker, I doubled my rates. I sat down, I created a $1,000 product, sat across lunch from someone. They were super excited for my product. And then at the end, they're like, please let me buy you lunch. So that was my joke, is like, hey, I still got lunch. And now I add value to my time because it's valuable. And I think that's some of the things that we learn here in the Mentor Studio, is that when you're around like-minded people and you have that community and you get to be working with people and they say, oh my God, that's so valuable, that you get to start seeing it in yourself. There's not a lot of people in my everyday life that are coaches or entrepreneurs. And so in the Mentor Studio and when I go to the Power Team events, I get around the people I don't get to sit in front of every day. And because there's so many events, this is every Thursday, there's either 4 o'clock, we got an event going on, Mondays, Tuesday, is that any day of the week I could jump into a forum like this and be around other entrepreneurs and business owners to help give me motivation, tips, techniques, and just to take my business to that next level so I can help others.
Yes, absolutely. And what I'm doing here is I'm sharing the link for Maker. If you want to know more information about it, it is a 4 times a year event that you get to go and work on your business instead of in your business. And it is hands down the best business course I've ever taken. It's like a business MBA, all in those 3-4 days that you're there for the Rainmaker Summit there. And just sharing that as I've been a graduate of Rainmaker, it has truly changed and has been profound in my life in making some of those business decisions. And like you, putting in the right metrics, putting in the right and dialing in with your pricing to the right audience and how much more you can grow and succeed in all of that. Truly priceless, truly valuable information there. And that is just one of the programs offered through Power Team. USA and Power Team International. Now, we touched a little bit here about the Mentor Studio, who's also the other co-sponsor here at Speakers Theater. So share with us a little bit about the Mentor Studio and how has the mentoring program, the mentoring community impacted your life?
So our founders are phenomenal. I've been probably following Michael Silvers since, I think he said 9 years now. I met him. He was one of the key leaders and the head of coaching under Harv Eker, who I read his book and loved it, Millionaire Mindset. And then I went to it, and then I met Michael and started to really get mentorship from him and joined some of his programs. And so when he started the Mentor Studio, he called and he's like, Michael has this saying that it's read everything and buy everything. Just read everything and buy everything. And so I really took that into heart because I'm learning all the time. It's my favorite thing to do. So when he called, he just said, I'm starting and I said, oh, okay, here's my credit card, let's go. I'm so excited. If you're putting it on, that I know it's going to have value because he's so connected to community and mentoring and helping others. We laugh because I call him, he's like a dad. He's just like that dad that wants you to succeed, but he doesn't give you the answers. He's Mr. Miyagi. He talks in riddles and rhymes, and then I learn the lesson. I go, oh my gosh, that was a lesson. Feel like the Karate Kid all the time. Well, Michael partnered with Mary Glorfield, who was one of my favorite people in the world, Tony Robbins, VP for over 18 years. And if it comes to big stages, Mary's name is just synonymous with phenomenal events. She's a amazing lady. And so they formed this because so many people were wanting them to help them get to levels that they've helped others. I mean, when you're working with Tarwin, when you have these people on speed dial, when she says, hold on, Tony's calling, or he's like, oh yeah, this guy, and it's kind of great to be around. But then they're so down to earth, and they're just very much how to help you succeed where you're at. So we do have some big aspirations, but you got to be able to do the little things really well. So everyone that we meet is like, I want to be on a stage, but not many people want to do that 90% of it, which is the work it takes to get to that level. And they lay out this amazing ground for you just to take baby steps and get there. But the wax on, wax off, the paint to fence, that's the stuff that's crazy. We've been doing this for over 2 years now. Me and Dawn have been working together for a year. And with everything that we've put together, I'm putting on my first live event in my local area next month.
Yes.
Coming out to support it and be my main speaker, because in the Mentor Studio, it's just having that, it's like having a family, one team. But the great part is, because of everything I've learned from Mary, from Michael, from Bill, I'm confident to get to put this on and really excited to start impacting in a small community so that it can go from the small community to the world.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And here we are between the Mentor Studio and Power Team USA. And we formed together the Speakers Theater as co-sponsors. So share with me a little bit about what Speakers Theater has done for you and how do you get your message out through this platform being broadcasted all around the world?
I think a lot of people want, they see successful people and you only see the top of the iceberg, right? You're like, oh my gosh, they're so lucky, or oh my gosh, I can't believe that they're that powerful from the platform they're on. But we don't see all the work that goes into it. And so when we first started launching events like this, Donna would say, oh, can you show up and support it? Yeah, can you show up and speak? And I'd be like, oh yeah, let me do Donna a favor, because I love my people, I'm very loyal. Then I was in a conversation on a jet, no big deal. On a
private jet, no big deal.
No big deal, private jet, amazing experience. experience. And Bill said you wanted to be your speaker. That means you're speaking at least twice a week on any platform. If you're a speaker, you're speaking twice a week. That man speaks 22 times a week. Still haven't figured out how, but I think he's like Santa, where he's able to go through all the time zones and be everywhere at once. But it hit me. The events that like this, the Speakers Theater and the stuff that the Mentor Studio does, those are events to sharpen my skills, to get over myself and overthink stuff, but just to show up and serve. And it turns out I'm emceeing. And I'm in somehow, because I thought I was helping everyone else, I became one of the MCs for the Mentor Studio. I'm gearing up to be one of the trainers, but before you get trained, you have to do. And so for the last year, when I thought I was helping out, it was helping me. And I think that's the magic of it, is to realize, oh, every time I log in and show up, or every time I get to welcome everyone to a call or be a part of it, I'm emceeing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to do on a larger scale. And if I can do it on a smaller scale, I can do it on a larger scale. But you just don't make it to a larger scale without honing all those skills along the way. And it taught me is these are opportunities. Daily, there's an opportunity for me to show up, serve, and speak. Mm-hmm. Because I thought I had to be on a stage to have a global platform. But it turns out, we figured out the social media is already a global platform.
Yes. It is, it truly is. And between Power Team and between the Mentor Studio, for everything that you need for your speaking world, we have it through the different trainings that we have and that we do. And when I first came to the Mentor Studio, I thought, well, you know, I have this desire. I want to be out on this big, large stage. Michael said, Donna, it's a 3 to 5 year build. I said, great, I'm in. And he went, okay. It's going to take 3 to 5 years. Be ready. And man, have I been drinking from a fire hose since. But what it's taught me was you don't just show up and say, hey, put me on the stage. You got to do all of the work. You have to do all of the types of speaking to really become an effective speaker. So what does that mean? Showing up virtually and then participating just like our guests are here on Speakers Theater and sharing your message. Because it is important to get your message out there. Your story is too big to play small. But it also means showing up to live events. It also means maybe you learn how to run a show virtually. It might mean that you learn how to run a small live show. It might mean that you show up and work backstage at the large stadium events to learn how to move chairs and set up a green room for the speakers that are coming, and what the audio people do and what the visual people do and all of it, because those are all components and aspects of speaking that a lot of people don't think about or consider. And then how to MC, and how do you MC on a virtual stage, and how do you MC on a live stage, and how it's the same and yet how it is different. So through the Mentor Studio, we teach and share with you all of those different aspects, all of those different platforms. Speakers Theater here is just one of them to help you build your skill set. If you are a speaker, an author, or a coach, maybe you want to be out on TEDx stages. That's a little bit different than this forum here. So we will take you through all of that at the Mentor Studio. And I did put that link here in the chat and shared it across the streams if you want to know more about the Mentor Studio and the global community that we have with it. And even speaking, sometimes we learn how to produce our own live events. So Misty, share our event here really quickly coming up in October.
Inspired Alchemy presents a night of transformation.
A night of transformation, I love it.
We're having a local event here in the Temecula, California area, where we're going to start tonight with a sound bath. We're going to do some meditation and deep breath work. A professional who's 6-figure breath work. I mean, this lady created a 6-figure company off of breath work. Love her to death. And then for the spotlight speaker, we have a heart-centered healer who runs an international healing practice. And she's going to come in and she's going to teach us some skills and some tools and do some things right live with the audience to help them where they're at. And we're going to have VIP bags, wine, tea for those who don't drink wine, but we're really just going to have a intimate gathering of individuals to learn some tips and strategies to help with their stress and mental health. And then they're going to leave with a call to action, because I do not believe in just being motivated at an event and leaving it at that. And I don't believe in showing up at an event, people are showing you, buy this, buy this, buy this. So that realm, though, is we have to connect, but there also has to be a call to action to help people take that next step. People need a road in front of them, even if it's just the first next step. And that's what our events are going to do.
Awesome, awesome. And Misty, can they contact you via email if they are wanting to know more?
Absolutely. I'll put it in the chat.
Here. Oh, I got it here with my, and I'll let you take it away.
Welcome back. Are we all the way yet? We got everyone is back. All right. We had some. Does someone want to unmute and share a solution that they could apply today or this week because you had such an amazing room? If your room sucked, just don't unmute. But if your room was great and you have something amazing, then unmute and share the wealth. Who has a great solution from their amazing group?
And I'll go.
Okay.
Do you want to go, Rachel? I saw you.
We have time for both of you. Go ahead, Nicole, and then we'll go to
Okay,
Rachel.
awesome. So what we talked about is really expressing ourselves and getting out there. So the problem was, hey, how do I get a little bite size of that 30 seconds and turn it into this beautiful transformation of a lifetime? And so we had some talk on that, right? Allowing that 30 seconds to share and sparkle, get that little nugget for someone's attention, and then they'll come back for more, and then they'll want to share with you even more.
I love that. And I like how you worded that. How do you go from 30 seconds to like a lifetime, right? 30 seconds to something amazing that you have. Good questions. Rachel and Sarah.
Wow. After hearing how Nicole said it, I mean, I'm not sure we can speak any more eloquently about that, other than, yes, in our room, we did talk about just really narrowing it down. We've had in the past where, we do so many different things, and so many of you guys do so many different things. You're so passionate about what you do, and you have different programs and different books and all of these different things that you can share with the world and to help them. But if you get that one little thing and just share that nugget and share, like we narrowed ours down to, we're sharing 2-minute techniques to help you de-stress from burnout, exhaustion, and overwhelm. So if we just narrow it down to that, that does help so many other people go, yes, that's me.
I think you nailed that. Sometimes we get overwhelming because we know everything that we can do, and we've been doing everything we can do, that when it's new to somebody, it's a little bit powerful. So if you break it down into a bite size, I always say sometimes that networking, being out there, isn't it like dating? I mean, if you're at a bar and someone comes up to you and like, hey, you want to go buy a house? No, I don't want to show your card in my face. But if I'm at a bar or a networking event, someone's like, how are you doing? And they're talking about me, and they hear something I say and they connect. They're like, oh man, my work's been really stressed this week. Oh, do you get stressed out a lot? Oh, yeah, all the time. Oh my gosh, we have these 2-minute techniques. Would you be okay if I sent you some? I gotta get game. Have game when you're working your business. Not, oh my gosh, you're stressed? Here's my book. Here's my course. Here's the 22 emails that you could do. You want a free product? You want to come to this? Like, no, thank you, psycho. So let's get one more amazing solution you had from your group or aha moment.
I can go. So I think that we were talking about a little bit about making sure that you are offering your clients what they want and giving them what they need when they're inside it. So they may not necessarily want to learn all about the cybersecurity and so on, but they definitely need it. That's the sexiest thing. So what can you talk about? Well, let's talk about crypto strategies and how that's going to all tie together into what you need to do to keep yourself safe in a digital economy. So it was a little bit of sell them what they want and then give them what they bought, but also give them what they need.
I love that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a fantastic suggestion from Catherine, and also Jessica came up with a really good potential tagline and also course name. So thanks for that input.
That was a pretty powerful show up on an event, jump into a breakout, and then get some really great ideas. Oh, I love when the breakout rooms are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that aha moments. And here's the thing, is that we are going to stumble through them, and we're going to be great at it. But if you ever met, I want you to think of a speaker right now or a coach or someone that you've met that their 30 seconds or their 2 minutes just every time still captivates you. So with me, every time I go to support Bill at a lunch or we're at another Rainmaker, I'm already a Rainmaker, but I'm already ready to buy it again. So when you have that dialed into who your customer base is, that's when people are like, oh my gosh, oh yeah, I have that. I put it in my wallet because I was ready to invest because I heard what I was going to benefit from it. And I want to pick on Jessica for a second. Well, actually, no, I don't, huh? Jessica, wait, don't talk yet because you're gonna you stay right there, Jessica. But I want to tell the story, and then we're gonna move into one of the coolest parts about the Speakers Theater, other than the mind-blowing stuff you get in the room and the practice your 30 seconds. So we do the practice your 30 seconds. We got the time to network with one another. And then for some of our elite and platinum speakers and some amazing guests, they show up and they give us some content. They give us 10 minutes of stuff that helps them, things that we can do in our business. And I think it was, I forget, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or 3, I got some content that I was like, oh my gosh, I could apply this in my business. This is amazing. And all I did was show up at a cool phone call and able to utilize this. Here's the thing though. If you get too much, you don't do anything. So we've already done 30 seconds. We've already done breakout rooms. So just start to, with our own selves too, is dial in a little bit on what's one new thing. Everything you learned in this break, but what's one new thing you can apply? Because what we really want from the Speakers Theater is results. We want you guys to be like, man, I started tuning in weekly and I see my business grow because of the little things that I'm starting to do in the community that I am around. Donna, do you want to add to that?
Yes, absolutely. And one of the amazing things here being at Speakers Theater, I know you guys are in breakout rooms, but while you were in breakout rooms, we are still live broadcasting on 9 different channels. So I always have an opportunity to interview somebody. And today I got to interview Misty a little bit about her experience with the Rainmaker program, as well as her experience with the Mentor Studio and how the Speakers Theater got formed, put together, and why and how it benefits everyone and all of the different aspects of speaking. Because sometimes as speakers, we just show up and we just want to share our messages, but there's a lot more to speaking than just showing up and sharing your message. You might have to learn how to run a show. It might have to be virtual. It might have to be live. You might learn to MC. You might learn how to run the backstage at a 10,000 person stadium event. And trust me, that's a lot of work for a lot of people. You really have to work with a team to get it all done because it's not all on one person. And so we were sharing and talking about that. So if you guys are out on any of the live stream channels, whether through the Mentor Studio, Power Team, Rainmaker Alumni, you can catch that and just rewatch that segment there and get all of those fantastic tips about it. But one of the things we also shared and talked about was running and setting up your own live as if you're going to produce your own show. So Misty and I have come together and we are putting together a live show here in October. So Misty, take about 2 minutes and share about that live event and what we're doing. And I put the link in the chat. I'll share it one more time if you want to know more information or learn how to put together your own set of events.
So me and Donna have this pattern of stumbling through stuff, learning the lessons, and then creating a training from it for you guys in the Mentor Studio and here at the Speakers Theater. So we've been the last year and a half helping out at other events, and now we're going to do a mini event sponsored by the Mentor Studio, a night of transformation, and we're going to do, this is a world I don't live in, but Donna does, so I'm excited just to be the MC and stay the hell out of it, but we're going to do sound bath. We're going to have deep breathing. One of the ladies that I'm friends with is Six Figures Breathing Company. And it always blows my mind. I'm like, you Six Figures Breathing Company? And then I'll get into her realm, right? She goes, it's the first thing you do. and the last thing you do in this world. Like, that's how serious she is about it. But she has these certifications and techniques, and then when everyone is in that theta, delta, I don't know this, I'm making it up, but I hear Donna all the time. When they're in a great state, we're going to bring Donna on, and she owns an international healing practice, and we're going to do some healing techniques. We're going to teach them some healing techniques, but then we're going to leave them with calls to action and not just motivated, because I've been there before where I'm at this amazing event and I'm motivated, and then the lights turn off and I'm like, well, now what? I guess I go home and be myself, and what's the next call to action? So what we'll do, though, is we'll make tons of mistakes, and we'll do some great things, and then we'll come back here and we'll be like, this is what worked, this is what didn't. But thanks to Mr. Bill Walsh, before I even sold the first ticket, the event's already paid for and making some profit. Because I'm going to give you this tip right now. Are you ready? If you're throwing an event and you have it live or even on virtual, get sponsors. Because what I'm doing is I'm doing all the work. I'm putting 30 qualified people in a room that are qualified for specific things. And I went to 3 companies that they're not going to get 30 people into a room. And I said, hey, why don't you sponsor this event? Well, I have 30 qualified individuals in a room who've already invested in something of this work. Does that make sense? And so what we want to do is be able to partner and do more of the smaller scale and get out there. So when we're rocking it at a bigger scale, that it's just going to be nothing but connection and successful.
Number 1, put together your event, whether live or virtual, make sure you have sponsors before you pay or have your people pay for the ticket. So you already start your event in the black and not the red. And as a speaker, the very first tip I'm going to share is always be ready to speak. So with that, we're going to move into our speaker selection. You never know who's going to get called on. So Misty, I'll let you start selecting.
And I'm going to start with one of them. And Jessica, are you there? Now I could surprise.
Hello, be ready.
I'm here. I'm always ready.
So Jessica is a business owner, multi-million-dollar businesses. She jumped into the gym world and got into some amazing health. This crazy, amazing lady is up with the sun every morning. I'm not exaggerating. That's part of her routine is to get up with the sun. So after creating these amazing businesses, she realized she wanted to do more. But the more she wants to do is a bit complex. So she still has to do all the same things we do. And I think Rachel and Sarah, you nailed it, is that she has to go from, okay, overwhelmingly the things I can do to how do I give you bite size to walk you down this road. And that, Jessica, I've heard you speak a few times, too many to count right now, but today was the first time I heard you say you're a swab away. I thought that was brilliant. But I want you to share with us, would you take a few moments and can you give us some tips and strategies on how you're taking this complex sort of mission and the things that you're able to do medically, but how you kind of have to sell it from stages or at airports, and you have to get, like me, who don't know what the hell you're talking about, invested enough to then qualify myself and follow up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I call it gathering my mess. Like, I gather my mess and I speak it a lot and I write it down a lot. I write a lot in visual. So I bought an iPad that you can draw on. So when I have ideas, I'm constantly drawing things out because I'm an image person. But I find the more I speak and the more people I speak to and the more I share my ideas with my team and people like the Mentor Studio and inside Rainmakers, that the more clear I get on what people need, what sparks their interest when I talk, like that cheek swab thing. I did a talk with Bill Walsh at a luncheon this past Sunday. And that just came out. Like I started doing this motion with my hand. I'm like, your health is a cheek swab away. And Bill says to me, Jessica, it's the first time that I've heard you say that. He goes, I didn't realize it was so simple, that your solution to people's health was so simple. It's completely holistic. We teach people how to get their energy back, how to get their youth back, how to stop, their depression, how to eviscerate all of those symptoms that we deal with, like the ADHD. If that becomes too much, we know how to harness that so it's useful for you. And it's literally a cheek swab. You know, it's that simple. But the more you speak about it, you got to get over that fear of being in front of people, because that's going to be the one thing that's going to bring you that clarity, right, Misty? You talked about clarity earlier.
Yes.
And the more people you speak to, the more you feel qualified. Talk about, you become that expert in your space, and people start viewing you as that expert in your space. And your experience, the reality is you are the expert in your space. No one has lived your life or has the knowledge that you have. Of course you're the expert, and people need to hear that. People need to hear your story, what you have to offer. You just gotta like get it out there, like diarrhea of the mouth at first, and then it fine tunes, right? It makes people laugh, and then it fine tunes. You become very clear on how people respond to the things you say, how to engage with them, and really, you know, where your business should go. It's helped me. Speaking has helped me kind of go from my world to what I'm doing now.
I want to pause you because you said like some major things, and I don't want people to miss out on it. And I love it. You said you have to gauge what the others are responding to you. So communication is how someone responds. Communication is not what you're saying. It's not what the other person's hearing. Communication is their response to what you said. So the more that you're out speaking, and you can see people look confused, or you can see people lean in, or if they want more information, but then you could gauge, oh yeah, that was way too much, or maybe that wasn't enough, or if I could have said it differently, or like you said, it just happened to come out while you were talking, and then people started to react to it. So now you're like, yep, that's going in there every time. Now, I don't know about you, but I used to think kind of saying the same thing over and over again would get boring. But then I got a perfect lesson was, but you're not talking to the same people over and over again. So did you, are you finding now that you're working, you're getting results, but that as you say the same thing, it comes out a little more easier and a little more confident?
Yeah, 100%. It even sounds different to me too, because I'm a different person every time I say it. We grow every day, right? We do. So you're always a different person when you say it. So it may seem like it's going to be boring and you're saying the same thing over again, but when you're actually doing that and experiencing it, you're not. It doesn't feel that way for me anyways.
No, I definitely want to add to that. I think the more you're able to say it almost like subconsciously as you're talking about it, to still be connected to what you're saying, but the more you're able to hone it and it becomes clearer and clearer.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. It's true. It just becomes part of you. It really doesn't. And people feel that because it's authentic. And the level that we connect on as humans is that level of authenticity. So that's huge when you're in front of people.
I want to finish with one of the other things that you train from stage, which I think is amazing. I'm into mental health, mental wealth, and I've even taking care of yourself first before you take care of others. Can you share a little bit about your morning routine and why it's that way?
Yeah, I know. And you would never guess I used to not be a morning person. I mean, the joke in my house was, don't wake up Jessica until the 9s. Like, if it's not 9 o'clock and Jessica's sleeping, do not go in there. She's like a bear. Now I'm up every single morning before the sun. I wake up with the sun. I'm out on my porch. It's a non-negotiable. I do this because I want to fill my cup. I want to win already first thing in the morning to build my confidence that I can show up for myself, and therefore I can show up for others at my 100%. Because I'm no longer thinking all day, oh, I got to do my workout, or I still got to give back to me, or I don't have an empty cup. So crack it on every single morning, 5 a.m. on the dot. I am up. I get up, I sit outside. The sun is not up yet. I do my breathing technique, which hyper-oxygenates my body, which is our healing force. And I meditate. And when I meditate, everyone's different. I use appreciation. I start appreciating anything that I can see in nature, on myself, and I fill my heart with love. And then I nourish myself. I make a protein and green shake, and I wake the sun up, right? I'm like, hey sun, I got my shake. Good morning. You know, and then I do my workout. And I always make sure I get my 7.5 hours of sleep. That is priority. Sleep is priority. I will sacrifice a workout before I ever sacrifice sleep. So that is something I want you all to know, because without sleep, your health is going to weeble wobble. Yes, everything in your day is going to weeble wobble. You have to prioritize your sleep, because it's a therapy, it's a therapy for your body. It's not, oh, well, don't take it for granted. How about that? So that's my biggest tip. Make sure you get your 7.5 to 9 hours sleep every single night. There's no such thing as making sleep up. It doesn't happen.
Hey, I'm telling my subconscious it does, Jessica. God. Absolutely. Yes, says here, it repairs the brain. So one of the most important things that I want to reiterate that Jessica does is she has a routine. Morning routines, nighttime routines. Routines are so powerful. In her routine, and she says it all the time, she takes care of herself first, so then the rest of the day she can take care of and serve others. Especially that little guy in the background who is freaking amazing. So thank you, Jessica, for sharing a little bit of your knowledge and your routine. Some of the times routines are a bit personal, and I appreciate that you share it to help others, and it definitely has inspired me. Not to get up at 5, but to get more sleep. But who knows? Maybe a year from now, I'll be like, I get up at 5.
You never know. I believe in you, Misty.
Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. Like you, though, my 7 is my 5, so getting up at 7 is like a win for me.
But I have to say,
but I'm like, yay, I quit pressing snooze about 2 years ago, and that made a world of difference in my life.
I have to say, though, I totally agree with getting up in the sun, except I live up in Montana. So in the summertime, the sun is rising at 4:35 a.m. Not a problem to get up, but it doesn't set until about 11:30 at night. And in the wintertime, it's opposite. So here I am, I'm getting up later and later and later every morning because the sun isn't coming up until like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm used to getting up at 5 a.m. And then it sets and gets dark at here by about December, it'll be dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So then I'm going to be sleeping like 28 hours a day. What's a tip or a solution not to fall into that pattern? Because the sun rises and sets here very opposite between summer and winter.
Yeah, I would just, don't base it on the sun. Base it on what you need to accomplish that day, something that works for you. Because a routine has to fill you. It has to mean something to you. Otherwise, it's not sustainable or fit your life. So if the sun, is not a good regimen for you to align against, align with yourself, Donna. What works for you in your schedule? What time do you want to get up every morning? Because in the winter time here, the sun gets up earlier, and then in the summertime here, the sun gets up later. So I run into that too, because sometimes I'm on my way to the gym and I'm saying good morning to the sun, and other times, I'm still home. So having that set routine of when you go to bed and when you're up, that's what you should set. It shouldn't be based off the sun. It should be based off the same time you go to bed every night. Wake up every. That is the cadence of your body. Your body likes cadence like that. That's when everything will fall into place. You'll feel a lot better.
I love it. Your routine has to fulfill you. I love it.
All right, we have time for one question, Dave. Let's take your question. Thank you for raising your hand and being engaged. Someone engaged.
Actually, it was just to add on to that, because being in Vancouver, it's exactly the same as down in Montana there. And with what my doctor with the mental health issues that I go through in the routine, it is completely the same. So what my doctor suggested was to actually get a mobile sunlight. And if you're going to go out on your porch or out in your balcony or sit in the snow and have your coffee in the morning at 5 o'clock, you have the sunlight there.
And a heat lamp.
That light.
And a heat lamp.
Yeah, and a heat lamp. Or one of the big patio torches or whatever you need.
I have those.
But yeah, he said, and specifically for me, he said, I really actually need the sunlight because it is so dark all the time. And that was one of the issues I had with working at Amazon as well, because it was 24/7 dark. So yeah, that's one of the things we figured out. So I don't know, how do you think of that with that, Jessica?
The mute game.
Yeah, I know, the mute game, right? And I have this one in the background yelling and screaming. He's all excited right now. Can you repeat that last word? I missed that last word of the question.
It wasn't a question, it was a suggestion. My doctor said to get a mobile sunlight.
Gotcha. Yes, I heard that. Yes. So, you know, there's all kinds of research around that. Natural is the best. It really is. The morning light, the first light is so nourishing to your body, but there is some great science. And if you can't get that, having an artificial source supplement that. I mean, that's a great idea. I don't see any harm in that. That is for sure. I would definitely see how you feel. That's how I base everything. How does it make you feel? Do you notice a difference with it? Because if you do, then it works for you. If you don't notice a difference, then you can make the choice. Do I want to remain with it, or do I want to try something new? So first, check in with yourself, see how you feel with it, and then make your choice based off of that. That's what I would say.
Now, Jessica, I just want to say thank you. We got one more speaker. So, Jennifer, if you could just throw your question in the chat so that if it's for Jessica, so that I think we have enough time for this next speaker, because this next speaker is going to rock your world and it's going to be important to your business. This next speaker, I love the words market research genius, customer insights, passionate about, are you ready? Combining market research techniques with quiz funnel strategies. But I say all that to get out the stuff is just this. She helps you find your ideal customer and engage them in the ways they want to be engaged. So we're going to turn the stage and mic over to the quiz queen. It's Catherine O'Leary.
Catherine Margaret Mary O'Leary. That's a different conversation. Sorry. And when I wake up, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Not where I am, but somewhere. Sorry, Jessica, it's just not going to happen. It's a public service disaster waiting to happen. But quizzes and starting conversations. When I started entrepreneurial journey, I actually started in network marketing, and I got involved with a great company, great courses, great events, and so on. But I found out very quickly that I was terrible at lead generation. It was one of the things that was just, I could pick my laptop up and like literally throw it out the window. I was so frustrated. I was throwing money at Facebook ads, hand over fist, hoping something would stick. I was, thought I'd become an SEO expert overnight, and maybe Google would work. And I also thought I could clone myself 12 ways from Sunday and just do a whole bunch of one-on-one calls, and that would work. And lo and behold, none of it worked. To the point where I thought, the 3-hour commute that I was getting away from corporate might not be such a bad idea. Maybe I could go back and do that. Audiobooks? No. There had to be a way. There had to be a way to attract the best clients, attract the people who were looking. I knew that there were people who were looking for these solutions, and I was looking for it. I couldn't be the only one out there that wanted these solutions, and not attract everyone that was looking for a job or looking for a freebie or looking for, just somebody to talk to. And I found quizzes, and that just aligned perfectly with me for, my background with corporate for 25 years, basically being a translator between consumers and corporate, asking consumers what they wanted, what they needed, and what they were challenged with, and translating that into product innovation, marketing campaigns, sales conversations, that kind of thing. And that's, there's kind of 3 things that you need to really engage with your best clients. First of all, you want to start with a question that's keeping them up at night. You know your target audience, right? You built offers for your target audience. You probably were your target audience at one point in time. And there is a question that is keeping them up at night. There's a question that you have the perfect offer to solve. That's the question that you want to pose out there in your advertising or in your posts or in your your emails and so on, that like ask about that question, like what's the number one hurdle from you moving from a 6-figure job to a 7-figure job? What's your leadership superpower? What's stopping you from losing the last 10 pounds? And like whatever that question is, engage your target audience, because here's the deal. A goldfish has an attention span of 8 seconds. Our attention span is 7 seconds. We have less attention than a goldfish. You don't have a lot of time to catch that person's attention, right? And what's going to catch their attention? Something that's keeping them up at night, something that they're worried about and stressed about, something that they're already looking for a solution for. And you already have the solution for it, so it's a perfect win-win. The second thing I would suggest is stop proposing marriage on the first date, right? Similar to what Misty was saying, right? Like, don't go out and, like, oh, you can't sleep at night? Oh my God, I got the perfect supplements. Or, oh my God, I got the perfect, breathing techniques. You haven't asked any questions yet. You haven't gotten to know them yet, right? And it's just, it feels unauthentic and it feels false when you do that. So there's usually a conversation. If your friend came up to you and said, I'm having this problem, there would probably be a couple of questions you'd ask before you jumped into a solution. What's your current situation? What's going on with you now? What are you challenged with? Where do you want to be? What's stopping you from getting there? There's a bit of a journey that most conversations take from start to finish, from problem to solution, right? So you want to make sure that you're engaging them with that kind of two-way conversation to get them to the offer that, or the solution or the advice or, the one-on-one call or the sales page or the webinar, whatever that happens to be. But if you start with that they're already trying to solve, first of all, you're only going to attract your target audience, right? Here's the thing, like, attract the best, release the rest. They're the best for somebody else, right? So attract your best clients and let, the rest go to where they need to be. Only talking to your ideal clients mean all of your numbers are going to improve, right? Your quality of leads means that your conversion rates are going to go up. So you're going to get more people on your webinars and you're going to be able to convert more because you've got the right people in the room. I would rather have 100 people that were highly qualified than 10,000 in the stadium and try to find that 100 people, right? Like that's like throwing money at Facebook again and just trying to fish and hope that something jumps into the boat, right? So so you want to engage people in conversations. You have that better quality lead. You increase your conversion rates, and at the end, you get to invite them after all of that. So you've got the problem, you've engaged them in a conversation, given them some insights, maybe a couple of tips, a couple of free, and then you get to invite them to continue the conversation at the end of the quiz. Right? So now hey, you know what? If you want to learn more, then come and see, us in California when we're having our event. Or come and see us in Phoenix when Bill Walsh is talking. Or, come in and engage in the masterclass. Or I'm having a free workshop. Whatever that happens to be, a one-on-one call. Whatever that happens to be, whatever works for you. The key or the cool thing about a quiz as well is you might be sending people to the workshop to Misty's workshop in California, but that's a set time, right? So once it's done, you can just switch where they go next, right? So after it's over, then they go to an evergreen webinar, or they go to the sales page, like whatever, but your quiz can stay the same. So now you've created your lead magnet that is on autopilot, works 365 days a year, collecting your qualified leads and sending them exactly where you want them to go without you touching another button, right? So, I mean, really, who wants more qualified leads in their sales funnel, right? And who wants to convert faster, right? No more like 6-month nurture sequences. You can do it in 60 seconds, right? A typical quiz is about 5 to 8 questions. So within that 5 to 8 questions, you've started a conversation. It feels like a two-way conversation. to them, and Donna can attest to this, right? You've given them some insights, you've given them value, and now you ask them to continue. And those that want to continue, they want to work with you. You've already, there's no convincing. You've already got them. Like, they're there. You just have to, now you're fishing in the barrel. You're not in the 10,000 person stadium. I'm now mixing things up. I know fish aren't in stadiums. It's fine. But does that make sense to everyone? Right? So attract the best, with the best questions so that you get the best clients, and then you have the best results. And you can do that. You do it once, you create one quiz. You can create multiple ones. Maybe you create one that's, you do after the fact. That we created one for the Health and Wellness Forum, right, as a satisfaction feedback tool, right? So there's lots of ways to use them, but for lead generation in particular, I know it saved my networking marketing business. And in fact, I took it another step further because I'm a little bit of a hyperachiever and created a whole new business route. You don't need everyone to do that, but that's just what my path was.
You gave so much in 10 minutes, but I was typing and writing at the same time. I think one of the definitely big things is qualified leads. And a lot of times we spend a lot of time and energy in leads. And then we're working towards qualified. So by the time we got to qualified, we're not even at our best. So I love that you kind of took your years in the marketing and research. And the one thing I always say is, don't work where other people play. Don't work where other people play. And when me and you started talking about stats, oh my gosh, it was like Christmas. Where we're like, what about this? And oh my gosh, and when we get information on that, like, I love that sort of information. And so you loved it. You love kind of thinking about that, the psychology involved, the marketing involved, and then helping people confidently then get to the fish and then have them serve the fish that want to be served. So how do we find you, or what you gave us enough to, like we want to fish in your bucket a little bit. What's our next conversation? How do we have that with you?
You can take my quiz. Imagine. www.quizformybiz.com. You can take that right now, and that will actually invite you to a webinar about Quizalicious. Imagine. It's like I planned it. It's crazy.
Oh my
goodness. I want to break this down because we are Power Team, we are the Ninja Studio, and we're all about learning and applying. And so what we just demonstrated was Kathy was able to get onto any stage, which, like giving you some key points, giving you some understandings, and then now it's like, hey, continue the conversation. Why don't you just take my quiz and see if this is something that might work? But interested, now I'm in her quiz, and then if I'm interested in the quiz, especially if I'm very captivated by it, I'm going to click on the video and watch more information. And she doesn't have to be on the phone for 30 minutes to an hour of free time, giving free value. Because how many of you here will take I'm staring at Donna. How many of you here will do a free orientation phone call that lasts way too long and you give up way too much of who you are because you just want to help? And then all of a sudden you're like, why aren't I closing? Where did that person go? Well, they're off living their life with your solution that you so happily connected them to in your free call. So having that where your leads can qualify themselves as they're coming through that funnel, so by the time they get to you, they're at that engagement conversation and they're not just kind of getting more information. I love that.
Yes, and Catherine.
Take some time. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, put it in the chat so I can share it everywhere for the live stream so we can take your quiz.
There you go.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Go for it, Misty.
I just want to take some time. Can we give a huge round of applause to Jessica and Catherine? Who, by the way, and this is what I love about Ninja Studio and I love about Power Team, they did not know they were talking today. How did they do being put on the spot?
I think they did excellent, both of them, because we did two different styles of speaking. And were they ready? Speaker tip number 1, always be ready to speak.
Absolutely. This is the whole wax on, wax off, right? Of the, for my painting or my learning, and it's that show up and you never know. And I want to stress it again, is these 10-minute spots, contact myself or Donna to see what some of that might be to get into them. But the cool part is that during the time we have together, when the breakout rooms go on, because we're live, we're going to keep some people out and do a live interview on the spot with you and get more information. You never know. Is that going to be you? Who is that going to be? So weekly give you guys an opportunity to not even know that you're going to have almost like a podcast, but better because it's live in front of 9 channels. And eventually it's going to be its own TV channel where you're showing up to an event and then all of a sudden, bam, you're getting to promote and speak. That's what this was created for. It was for all of us to have opportunities and to gain amazing nuggets. Raise your hand or put a 1 in the chat if you got some value today. Oh, 2 hands, Dave. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes, we want to take the time to thank you. We are here every week live, 12 to 1:30. Clearly you guys have it, but gotta throw it back in there for the chat. If you would like more information about Rainmaker, we're going to put that in the chat and we're going to do that live. If you would like more information, we're throwing that in there too for those of our live audiences. Thank you for joining us today. And hey, don't be so shy. Next week, why don't you come jump on the Zoom with us and be a part of it?
Yes, and
do you have any announcements?
I just threw in my link there to my calendar. You can go ahead and schedule time for a quick 15-minute chat, whether it's about Power Team and Rainmaker, or if it's about the Mentor Studio, because I can share both of those with you. So all you have to do is just book a quick time on there, even if you wanted to get more here for the speaking spots, other speaking opportunities that we have, definitely just book time there. That'll probably be the easiest way. If you guys absolutely love this, we have one more networking call tonight that is offered through the Mentor Studio. It is every Thursday at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. So coming up here in a couple of hours. And I'm going to throw that link in here for you. Sell, sign, as I try to write and type and talk and all of that at the same time. Just go ahead and click on that link and register. It's just total networking. You'll be in a couple of different breakout rooms, meeting with different people within the Mentor Studio and them helping them each other grow and to be of service. So go ahead and jump on that for tonight. It's at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern there. All right, so that's the end of my announcement. So Misty, let's show them how we take this out together. Oh, did you have a question there, Nicole? No? Okay. All right. So let's show them how we take this out together as one team, one family, and one community.
I love this. I just want to thank Mr. Bill Walsh and Mr. Mike Silvers for this crazy cool event. And our things are like a black belt. If you want to be a black belt in speaking, you want to be a black belt in coaching, plug in. Just like if you were getting a black belt in taekwondo or any other sort of practice, there's weekly practices, there's morning practices, there's evening practices. The more you plug in, the more skills that you're going to have at it. So we thank you for plugging in today. We invite you to plug into any of our events that we offer because we just want to serve and give back. So here at the Mentor Studio and Power Team, we are one family, and we're going to put our right and left hand out, and we are going to create some energy from ourselves to you for everyone in the room so that we can leave this call ready to apply some of the knowledge you have. Go ahead and unmute and throw me out a word that you resonate with for today. What is a word you resonate with for today?
Speaking.
Speaking?
Brilliance.
Brilliance?
Preparedness.
Ooh, oh, I like that one. Yes. Preparedness. Because the more you come to these, the more prepared you're going to be. I'm going to count to 3. When I say 3, we're all going to yell preparedness unless someone's sleeping because you're international. But 1, 2, 3, I'm going to say preparedness. You at 3, we're going to say preparedness. 1, 2, 3.
Preparedness. You guys are awesome. Huge round of applause. You were with us the entire 90 minutes. Next week, come back. Bring a friend. We love you.
Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day, evening, or night.
Right.
Okay, good night. Bye.
Bye.